The first time a Seahawks player asked me about a camera, I will never forget this. We were on a road trip to Chicago. We signed a new player, and the new player was really interested in my camera. And he was like, let me see your camera. Like, can I use your camera? He was messing with it. We were at a walkthrough at some high school or small college stadium outside of Chicago. And at the end, he goes, can I buy this camera? I go, when? And he goes, I want to buy it right now. And I said, no, I need this camera to photograph you playing in the football game tomorrow. And he was like, I think you should just sell it to me right now. And that is how I met Marshawn Lynch.
As a great 21st century philosopher once said, take care of your mentors. During the break before camp, everyone must find a way to feed their soul before the real work begins.
I've always liked photography. I like art, photography, whatever. But I just now got like a camera, it's probably like 3 months now. 3 months now, yeah.
Ken Walker has picked up a new way to see the world as a way of seeking art off the field.
All right, right now we're on the way to Middle Fork to go take pictures, obviously. This is my Canon R6. I got it like 2 or 3 months ago when I started off photography. This is the 24-105 lens, and this is the 7200 lens. I usually take this for like further shots, and I take this one for like wider shots. I mean, I guess that's what I do.
So I got a camera, and then I met this guy named Connor Mack. That's who's helping me with photography now. I met him at the NFL Honors, and yeah, I've been shooting a lot of landscape, and I've been trying to learn how to edit and all that. But this week I'm actually going to Utah, Salt Lake City. We're gonna go and shoot at the Salt Flats. I didn't know what it was until he sent it to me, but it's pretty.
My favorite photo, it was out there. I can't remember. I probably got 2 favorites from that whole trip. But that trip was long. Like this, I just felt like the mountain was cool. And
Sparking to photography is made even easier when you have experts riding in the front seat.
Let me see.
Rod, we want your official grade of this photo.
I'm Rod Marr, Seahawks team photographer. I have been team photographer for Pete +1, so you do the math. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay, of course you just said.
No. Here's why. Because you have foreground and you have background. Okay. And whenever you can put something into the foreground of a landscape photo especially, it gives it some depth, right? Because if you just shoot on that back plane where that rock is, then it's kind of two-dimensional, right? But putting something in the foreground gives it that depth and gives it the interest. And you did a great job with the exposure because the clouds work with everything that's going on here. Yeah, nice. So my story with Ken Walker begins last year. It was before training camp, and he approached me and said, hey, I want to do some pictures. And I said, oh, do you want to take some pictures? And he said, no, actually, he wanted pictures of himself. So we just went out to a park in Bellevue, and I shot some photos for him. He used them on his social channels. Fast forward to, I think, 2 months ago, and he mentioned that he had found a mentor that was kind of helping him, but he had questions for me. So Ken wanted to do some landscape photography here, and we live in the Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful everywhere you go. So he had his camera and I had my camera, and we were just kind of going on a photo walk, seeing what we could see. Oh. Tonight's mic'd up. Tonight's mic'd up's gonna be.
You mic'd up? Oh shit.
I made it clear to him, like, you know, I'm a professional photographer, but I am not an expert in landscape. Landscape is not what I do, but I will help you with camera settings, and I really wanted to help him kind of learn how to see in different ways. So it was really fun. We had a great afternoon. And then try and get that sun try to get the sun right into your lens. So like just move left and right till the sun gets brighter, and then now see where it got super bright? It was up a little bit to the right. Like now go ahead and hit that. When I photograph you on the football field, you're moving so fast, I have to freeze you at a minimum 1/1000th of a second. That's how fast you're moving. Otherwise, you're blurry. So here, even though nothing's moving, at a 30th of a second, our body would be moving. I mean, clearly your arms are like tripods, like I got these little arms. He is full send, deep dive, I want to be a photographer. And I've done it my whole life, and as any of us who do something our whole life, sometimes it gets routine. So seeing photography and seeing a passion through someone else's fresh eyes is really inspiring for me.
Ken and Rod walked the Middle Fork Trail on a perfect Seattle summer day.
All of this shadow area, which our eye registers, we can see that. When we expose for the water, that just becomes dark. See that? And then the composition that I thought was gonna be really nice isn't as nice because I've kind of lost that whole right side of the photo, it just goes dark, right? So you had a better instinct to be shooting from there. Like I thought, oh, this will be really nice, we'll see more of the water. But it's also a thing, we could walk up the trail to the left and kind of see that way.
They talk light, settings, and composition.
I usually don't even use this lens. I'm trying to get used to it. Oh shit. I'm sitting down.
Photography is a constant pursuit, and pro photographer Rod learns a trick or two from Ken as well.
He was not afraid to stand on a rock or get down real low or use the back screen of his camera. He was really interested in learning how to see and communicate with his camera.
That's a waterfall up there or something?
It's just, there's a little runoff on our backs right now, so really suffering for the art. I got like 4 drips of water on me. And
Yeah, no, I got hella.
I'm not, that's not me.
Rod is always suffering for the art.
You in it. No, you good, you good.
Like these rocks have been here hundreds of years.
All right, I'm good, bro. Boom. I wanted to get a butterfly in my picture.
I know. Maybe one will land.
They move so damn fast.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee?
No, like, all right, so look. Like while I'm taking a picture somewhere, a butterfly's like, you feel me? But that shit's hard.
They're fast.
Too damn fast.
You can do it.
Seeing through a new lens lights Ken up as him and Rod compete to find the more perfect photo.
Did you get the water or no?
Yeah. I went up on that rock and just kind of held my camera down low.
Finding the perfect photo is a pursuit that he can chase his entire life.
Photography really has been a way of connecting with players for me. And I'm the first to admit, like, I have the best job in the world. And people say, well, it seems like you have great relationships with players. And I like to remind them, like, my only job is to make players look really, really cool. And it's led to some really cool things. I've photographed players' weddings, done their family photos, their holiday photos. It's nice to have that connection, because we're always looking for human connections and friendship. I'm here to just make you look great. And if we can extend that off the field into the other parts of your life, then that's really special too.
Oh shit.
What's up, buddy?
So he the one that,
No.
oh. If it was a bear, we would have been screwed because I didn't see him until it was too late.
The bear ain't gonna come attack
I'm just
us.
saying.
They're scared of us, we're scared of them.
If only they knew.
Love the way you're framing that too. Like, again, like you do such a good job of framing your photos. Like, I know you're using the tree branch there.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Like if I had a camera in Memphis, bro, it would be nothing to take a picture of. So ass. But out here, you got like so many places to go and it's pretty. Oh, it's snow at the top.
Yeah, I think there probably still is, right?
Right there. Just like when I seen Snoqualmie Falls, I thought it was gonna be hella far.
Right.
It was just like 30
It's
minutes.
right there.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, running back and photographer.
As a subject of a few of Rod Marr's photos, I can attest, Rod knows what he's doing. Most of the time.
And I'm Rod Marr, photographer, not a running back. I have a connection with those teams from the Super Bowl because I had just gotten here just when they got here. So we all kind of got here just as babies in the organization. And Doug Baldwin in particular and I have a really good relationship and friendship. And I remember he used to talk about ripples and how a pebble in the water causes ripples. And he wanted to cause ripples. So he started Champions of Change with Cliff Avril and Michael Bennett. And then I ran into him at a charity event with John and Tracy Schneider a couple of months ago. And he said, hey, he goes, you gonna come ref my game? And I was like,
one thing that was really important to us when we were playing here was that we wanted to be active in the community, right? Seattle has been very welcoming and opening to us in terms of bringing us along as part of this community and this family. And so we were presented and blessed with a platform, and so we want to utilize that to do some good in the community that recognize us as one of their own.
I respect anybody that has a philosophy and principles, and I think about Doug over my time just in the league and being a teammate of his is that he always led with principle. It didn't matter the situation, it was always about principle. It's easy for us to come together, and I think for us, the thing that connects us all is that we understand that the importance of our position as humans, especially as black men, the importance of having a sense of vulnerability and having a sense of connection to, and not forgetting where we come from. The importance of, being a role model. I think a lot of times people want to run away from role models, but it goes back to why I respect Doug is that, being a role model isn't just about, selling items. It's also about living a certain life of virtue and having principles and having intestinal fortitude to stand up when things get heavy and when the water is shaky, you have a foundation.
Cliff and I actually talked about this the other day. There's no like 5, 10, 15-year vision goal here, right? Similar to how we played in football, it was just one game at a time. And with this, it's just one effort at a time. And we find that, or we figure that if we continue to have that mindset, if we just keep our head focused on, the task at hand and helping and making the right decisions in the present moment, each moment that comes to us, when we look up 5, 10, 15 years from now, we will have been in a better spot than we had envisioned, prior. And so we're just focused on that. When we have the opportunities to serve, we're going to show up, and then we'll see what happens.
It's all about bringing the community together, bringing families together. Last year, I think we had a little bit over 5,000 people, so of course we want to have more people there. I think it's extremely important to keep that family element together, right? Having functions for families, to be able to come out, enjoy seeing some of their favorite, I hate saying celebs because these guys are all my friends or whatnot, but all their favorite guys all in one area, playing a sport, having fun, having Mike on the MC, doing what Mike does, and just putting a lot of smiles on everybody's faces. I think that's what's needed in society right now. I think that's what's needed in our community right now.
The second annual Champions of Change weekend raised over $700,000 for local nonprofit partners. The money raised goes towards bettering the mental, physical, and spiritual health of youth in Seattle and King County while providing unprecedented access to food and education in underserved communities.
Each year we want to get better. Each year we want to make a bigger impact, make sure people know and are excited about whatever event it might be that Champions of Change are putting together. But more so than anything, continue to keep shedding light on all the great organizations that are in our city and our community that are doing some really awesome things. So it's all about just, I think, growing and getting the notoriety, but not for us, but more so for the impact that it has in the community.
Impact that will grant opportunities for generations to come. Even though it's his first true offseason, Abe Lucas, the stoic tackle of the 2022 star-studded rookie class, has his regimen locked down.
It's more comfortable. The time off was very necessary, but I'm more excited to be kind of in the flow of things and know what's going on going into the second year, as far as like schedule and just like really how it feels and just routine, being able to adjust to routine better and not having to create a whole new one this time around.
For guys that thrive on routine, that first year can be tough. It's a marathon of new plays, new workouts, new faces, new names, the list goes on.
It's relatively new, but I'm a pretty big fan of combat sports. I do think it's important. It's an important skill to have to know how to defend yourself. So I want to say, really I started this year, probably like 2 or 3 months ago, and I try to do it maybe like a couple times a week.
The first true off-season can be a real comfort, but that doesn't mean avoiding the uncomfortable.
But along with boxing, I also do like jiu-jitsu stuff. I haven't been able to lately, but I've done jiu-jitsu on and off since 2020, around there.
Abe has picked up a new way of training that challenges him both physically and mentally.
The principles of like that are kind of the same as like offensive linemen as far as like winning blocks with your feet, having good hand placement, proper body control, proper lean, patience, not being too sporadic or out of control. And so it's kind of odd to see it all come together, but it's also pretty cool.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
My roommate's, his name's Liam. We went to college together. We were roommates for my last 2 years, or last year and a half, one of the two. We're kind of thicker than thieves. Like he's a good dude. Holds me accountable on a lot of stuff. So we also get in not a lot of trouble, but it's the way we interact is pretty funny. But yeah, he's a great guy. I'm just lucky to have him in my life as a solid friend. It was kind of the perfect storm of events. For me specifically, it was like, I played at Wazoo, right? I played high school here, and then I did college here, and then I got drafted here, and then my roommate from college also got picked up. So it seemed like it was just like a 1 in a billion type chance that stuff happens, but it happened, and it was great,
Abe has had a love of guitar since he picked up Guitar Hero in the 3rd grade. A grounding resulted in his video games being taken away, and so while in his bedroom, he picked up a real guitar and his first chords played were the tunes Guitar Hero seared into his young brain.
You just need me to play whatever.
You're really into, correct me if I'm wrong here, you're really into metal.
Yeah, I call myself a metalhead, right? But I also like to, I don't like to keep it strictly towards one genre, right? So, if I think it sounds good, I'll probably try to play it, and that could be really anything, When I was in college, I took a history of rock and roll class, and then I took a history of jazz class, and they were both super, super cool, but the history of jazz class was actually really interesting because in jazz, you think of more like brass instruments like saxophone, tubas, and such like that. And there was I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a very famous jazz guitarist, and so I listened to his music, and it was really, really good. And then that got me into new flamenco music as well. So I started listening to that kind of stuff, and just the differences of it, but they all sound super, super good, right? And it's all very technical and all. Just kind of broaden that horizon. So if it sounds good and it's manageable, I'll probably try to play it. My first guitar was like a $60 Squire. And it served its purpose, had a cool whammy bar, but it broke, so I threw it away, or I gave it away, one of the two, or somebody smashed it or something. I don't know. I don't know if I have a dream guitar. I'd probably, I kind of want a Gibson SG, but I just haven't gotten around to getting it. Growing up, I listened to a lot of blues with my dad. He was a big fan of a guy named Robert Cray, who actually grew up out here in Seattle for a couple of years. I think went to high school in Tacoma for a couple of years. And then another guy named Stevie Ray Vaughan. And my mom was a AC/DC fan. Not like a super fan, but if it came on, she knew about it. This first one is actually Nirvana's first record. It's called Bleach. My sister got this for me for her birthday. This is before their Nevermind album came out and basically blew everything to pieces.
So you have definitely played Stairway to Heaven at some point.
Everybody has. It's like the first song you learn. That and Smoke on the Water.
Back at Abe's old stomping grounds, he now runs a football camp.
This is your squad. This is what you got going on for this year, It's on y'all, man. Whatever you want to do, you got to make it happen. Nobody else can make it happen for you. Your coaches out here, got good coaches, they're going to coach you up. But Friday night when that ball game's kicked off, you got to make the plays, It's on nobody but y'all, and I'm assuming most people here probably want to go to college or play in college. This is right here is just to get your foot in the door, Freshman, you got 4 years to build your worth so you can get your foot in the door if you're trying to play in college, If you're a senior, last shot, So take it serious and have fun with it, Try to enjoy it. You never get these moments back.
What'd you play first? You were a lineman.
I was a tight end. I wanted to catch passes, but I was really skinny. And I kind of sucked. So, and then, well, I went to D. I was a tight end for my first couple years, and then I started playing D in junior year.
Being one of 7 children, it's not just his alma mater.
My youngest brother, is a freshman right now, playing. I had another brother who played football here. My older sister teaches theology here, very smart. So yeah, I guess the proper term would be legacy.
All legacies start somewhere.
Hi, Mom. No. There's cameras here, so you get to
I
look
see
at them.
that.
You're in it now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's great. I love her. She's awesome. But she didn't know any of that was happening. I was like, hey, I'm mic'd up, and she was just kind of like, oh, okay. You're gonna wait on Drew. You're taking him home, aren't you? I told you. And then, yeah, they just kind of, I mean, I was kind of pushed to the back burner, I guess, because her and Liam just, you know, he's like the adopted son of the family, so they just started chatting it up, and they were talking a bunch of crap about me, and I was just kind of standing there. And the camera ladies were just laughing the entire time. So it was cool. It was fun. Well, you unofficially met her.
Take your breaths, find your routines, because every day is 24 hours closer to kickoff.
Being a leader in the running back room is kind of cool, but also it's like I'm still young too, so it's like, I don't know. But I like it though. It's cool to teach those guys everything that I know, like Zach and K-Mac. Yeah, honestly, me, I just let them be them. Like, I don't like try to force nothing on them. But, you know, Zach, like you said, he's super quiet. He only really say something if you say something to him, and Kenny's just more outspoken. But yeah, I just let them be them, and then that's how it is. It's chill though. Oh no, I should give him advice actually. I haven't given advice for like the breaks and stuff like that, but like taking care of their bodies and stuff like that, that's something I like talk to Zach about and K-Mac. Yeah, I tell them to get in the routine of that, but advice on the break, I haven't even given advice actually.
Like you said, take it day by day. But really just to be the best that I can be this year and to continue improving and to not be complacent, you know. I mean, NFL is not for long, right? I mean, if you're being realistic about it. So every opportunity that's in front of you has to be taken full advantage of. So I just aim to do that this year as best I can. Greg!